Let's welcome Scott, a graduate admission counselor at Suffolk University. Welcome. Hi, Scott.
Hey, sorry about the
Hi,
delay.
man. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, thank
So
you.
is everything all right with the audio and the video?
What's that? Say that again.
So is everything all right with the audio and the video?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Everything.
So if everything is all right, so please start.
All right. Great. Thank you. Yes. So I am Scott. I am a graduate admissions counselor as well as an MBA student at Suffolk University in Boston. I apologize if I talk fast. We talk fast up here in the Northeast. I will do my best to slow down. So next slide. All right, so as mentioned, this is me. I carry a portfolio of programs. I also specialize recruiting in China and Africa. So when I can travel, I will be visiting China, and I usually visit Africa. I am expecting my MBA in the fall of 2022. I've been here for 2 years, so I love helping international students. You see my email up there. Please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. We can meet one-on-one. To discuss our programs, your specific situation, really anything. Next slide, please. So some quick facts about Boston. We are right in the middle of, or about Suffolk. We are right in the middle of Boston. Founded in 1906. We have about 1,200 graduate students, so it's not a massive program, and about 25% international students. Which I like to highlight. And in terms of our business school faculty, over 50% are international as well. So next slide, please. So in terms of accreditation, the big accreditation body that I like to mention is AACSB. Particularly if you're looking at business schools, that is an important one because it denotes that the school focuses or has a focus on international studies. So making sure that when you get an MBA, that MBA is rooted in a global economy and culture and things like that. We were rated U.S. News and World number 31 regional universities in the North. So we are in the Northeast. And in terms of the Princeton Review, we had basically we got doctoral programs. So our status changed from 2017 to 2018. So we're waiting for 2019 to come back out, and we will be back on there essentially. So next slide, please. So just so you know where Boston is, you can see up here in the top right, it does get somewhat cold. It does snow in the winter. It does get beautiful in the fall as well. So all the leaves are changing. And next slide. And so this is zoomed in a little bit on Northeast United States, just so you can get a better idea. It's about a 4-hour car ride to New York, or 4 hours on the T or on the train. And also Washington, D.C. is pretty close by. So we are in a very populated, a very hot area in the United States. And next slide. So this is actually downtown Boston. And this shows you where all of these little yellow dots are where our campus is. And this is that big black tall building is essentially, it's called the Millennium Tower, and it is right in downtown Crossing, which is the epicenter of the city. So you can see we are right in the middle, and the financial district is about a 10-minute walk. Government Center and Beacon Hill, which are state institutions, they are also about 5 minutes or on campus in some instances in Beacon Hill. Next slide, please. So we really try and leverage our location in the middle of the city in order to create better outcomes for students. So we make sure that our faculty are able to bring their connections to class and also bring students to their connections. Great, 3 minutes, thank you. It's global in scope. As I mentioned, we have many international students and faculty. And it's experiential. We don't just fill your head with theory. We have you actually do flash consultancy projects. Almost every class you get one of those. You do internships and practicums if you want to. And being so centrally located, those opportunities are usually really great. Next slide, please. So Boston's business cluster, this is what we're really good at: technology, finance, and healthcare, and the intersection of all of those. So finance, technology, and biotech. If you are interested in those areas, we are a great spot. Next slide, please. So we have a lot of programs. On the left-hand side, you will see all the business school programs, and on the right-hand side, you will see the College of Arts and Sciences. And if we go to the next slide, we will also see the dual degree options with the MBA program. We also have other dual degrees, but I like to mention these because they only add a semester of full-time study, and they are STEM designated, so they allow you to study for longer in the US and work for longer. Next slide, please. So the MBA at Suffolk, it can be done in as few as 11 months, so a calendar year. We have 16 available concentrations. The 14 to 20 courses, that range is because if you have a business background, you will get 6 courses waived. Essentially, we're not going to make you take economics or managerial statistics again. So next slide. And the travel seminars are a big aspect of the program. So again, having you go out, do flash consultancies in London, in Germany, Las Vegas, those are all important. And I have 1 minute left, so next slide, please. Financial aid, always important. So we treat international students much like we do the same as domestic students in terms of financial aid. So you do not have to apply separately for financial aid from Suffolk. If you're admitted, it's received in your admission letter. And you are also assigned a dedicated financial aid counselor. So the financial aid packages, they reach up to 50%. And that usually makes a big difference for students when it comes to financing their education. Next slide. So yeah, in general, Boston is our campus. As you saw, we are right in the middle of the city, so there's a lot to do, and we really, our students make the most of it generally. It's great for networking, great for just building a network so that you have good outcomes at the end. And next slide. So I will wrap up. Feel free to email me for an application fee waiver. I'm happy to waive that fee for you. Or just answer any questions in general. As I mentioned, I'm happy to help you out. So I will open it up to questions at this point. Thank you all for listening.
We're going to have the QA session, and every student here, I think we got a question from the student. Is how many Chinese students do you have in your university?
Yes, so that is our largest population in terms of international students. It goes China and then India, and then we have actually, it's a smattering from Africa. So in terms of Chinese students, you will be the most prevalent minority on campus or nationality on campus. And also faculty, many of our faculty are from China as well. So while I don't have a percentage, I would say of that 25%, maybe 7 to 10% are Chinese. So definitely a decent population.
Okay, thanks for your answer, Scar. So next part, I think is still got 2 questions for you. And the first one goes to, what gives schools in an urban setting an advantage?
Right. Yeah. So schools in an urban setting really allow you to get those experiential opportunities where you can work with firms like Nike, Reebok. That's who we have in Boston, different marketing firms, as well as biotech and startups. So you want to be able to work with those groups so that you can network and also just get your feet wet, get your hands dirty in that environment. If you're in a rural setting, it's really hard to connect to that degree. So I emphasize any city, but really try and get into a big one if you can.
Okay, thanks for your answer. And I'm going to do a very brief translation for the students. 那么同学们呢，那个波士顿呢是一座非常好的城市，然后它能给各位同学提供很多的工作机会。同时呢，波士顿还有很多大的公司，这给同学在毕业之后的工作机会上也会有很大的帮助。Okay, so I think next question goes to: Are graduates able to find positions with firms that will sponsor my visa?
Yes, great question. So because again, we are so centrally located, a lot of the time students after their internship and practicum, they'll find a position with those firms. And if not, we have very robust career services because our alumni are so close to our campus because we're right in the middle of the city. So it lends to really positive outcomes for students, just the networking ability in class.
Okay, thanks for your answer. And still the very brief translation. 那么同学们在毕业以后呢，如果说就是在学习期间呢有找到实习工作，比如说在一些公司，那么这些公司呢就有可能会为各位同学提供这个在毕业后的工作签。那么如果这些公司没有给各位同学提供呢，那我们学校也会有就业指导中心来帮助同学们来申请这个工作签，会在上面提供很多的帮助。Okay, so thanks for your answer. So, do we have more questions for Suffolk University? So okay, so due to limited time, so every student here, if you got more questions for Suffolk University, you can add the contact on the last page of the PowerPoint, and you can also type the questions in the chat box. I think Scott and his colleague will answer the questions backstage. So Scott, thanks for your presentation. We have know lots of things about Suffolk University. So thanks, Scott.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.